Hi everyone, and welcome to a new segment of Baking with Becca. Today we're going to be making coffee cake. So I've preheated the oven to 350 degrees and we're going to get started with creaming together our wet ingredients. So here we have half a cup of margarine, 3/4 cups of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 tablespoon of vinegar. First, I'm going to add in the margarine. And then this is softened a little bit, so I microwaved it for about 15 seconds. It'll be easier to combine. And I'm going to add in the sugar. And we're going to cream this till it gets fluffy. So now this is fluffy, I'm going to add in the vanilla. Mix a little bit more. And now we're going to create an egg substitute by mixing together the baking soda and the vinegar. So I'm going to add this in here. And I'm going to mix this up. You can really hear the sizzle. And then I'm going to add this into the mixture. And this is the amount of substitute for 1 egg. And I'm going to mix this up. Okay, now we're going to move to the dry ingredients. Now we have our dry ingredients, just 3 simple ingredients. Here we have 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. I'm just going to add all of these in this medium-sized bowl and mix. Pinch of salt. I honestly didn't really know what a pinch of salt is, but you know, just add a little bit. Enough to help it. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, 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 mix. Mix, 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 mix. Okay, that's good. We'll put this aside and then we will combine the wet and the dry and the milk. So our last ingredient for the cake batter is 3/4 cups of rice milk. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in half of the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. And I'm going to mix it up. Now this mixture has become very doughy, so we're going to add in all of the milk and mix this up until it's combined. Then we'll add in the rest of the flour. That looks good. And now the rest of the dry. And we'll mix this up. This is a really simple recipe. It really doesn't take very long. And we're gonna have 2 other components though, to add a lot of the flavor. So that looks great. It's a pretty thick batter still, but that's what we need. It's gonna be a nice dense cake. So now we're gonna make the filling for the middle layer of the cake. So what we have is 3 tablespoons of margarine, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1/3 cup of flour, and 1/2 cup of brown sugar. So I'm gonna add all of these into a medium-sized mixing bowl. And I'm gonna mix it together with a fork. You could use a fork or a whisk or anything that will help to get all the lumps out because we want this to be a nice silky filling. So now I'm going to make the topping for the cake, which is actually really similar to the filling. So what we're going to need for the topping is 5 tablespoons of softened margarine, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 3/4 cups of flour, and 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I'm simply going to add this in just like I did for the filling. Deja vu, am I right? Definitely going to need to buy more cinnamon after this recipe is done. And sugar. I'm going to mix this up till it's in chunks. So this is what you want your crumbs to look like when they're done. So we actually went ahead and added some extra flour because it was really doughy, and so this helps it so it's like nice crumbs. And I use my hands to mix it up because it helps break it up and really get it nice and combined. So now it's time to get our pan ready to add in the batter and all the other fun stuff. So I'm just gonna take some Crisco on my fingers and smooth out all of this butt pan, just so nothing will stick. And it's really important that it doesn't stick. All greased, I finally got all that Crisco off my hands. It was kind of really gross. So I'm gonna add in half of the cake batter into this butt pan. Just gonna spoon it in. So that's about half, and I'm gonna smooth it out. It's really important to get a nice even layer because you want it to cook evenly. So now that this is smooth, I'm going to add in this filling. I'm gonna make sure I get it all around because every bite needs some filling. Now right now, this filling seems like it's just in clumps, but when it bakes, it's gonna get nice and melty. And now the top layer of the batter. Now you wanna spoon this in pretty evenly because once it's in, you don't wanna move it around too much because we don't wanna ruin the even layer of the filling. So I finished smoothing out the batter, the rest of the batter into the bundt pan, and now I'm going to sprinkle on the topping and try and get it nice and even all around. So I'm gonna push down on this just a little bit to make sure that all the crumbs stick to the top of the cake. And now I'm gonna pop this in the oven to 45 to 50 minutes or until you can stick a knife in it and it comes out clean. Okay, so the cake is done. I just took it out of the bundt pan. It's just still sitting on the bottom. It looks so good. It literally has made my whole house smell like coffee cake. I'm gonna cut into it and try it. See all the steam coming off. It smells so good. It looks so good. You can see the bottom cake and then the layer, then the cake and then the crumbs. Okay, now I'm gonna try this. Ready? It's so good. It's really good. The cake is like nice and dense, and then the toppings and the filling adds such a good like sweetness. You guys should really try this. And now I have my coffee to wash it down. And this is just such a versatile cake because you could have it for breakfast with your coffee. You could have it as like a dessert at night. So I really recommend trying this cake. It's really good. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.